state. They sent them to Abia in Biafra land and gave them an order to shoot at sight. And I want you as a journalist, I want you as a lawyer to go back and investigate through the history of Fulani-funded terrorism and insurgency in Nigeria. Try and see if there is any instance where the IG of police or the chief of army staff has ever said to the troops, shoot at sight anywhere in the north. It's never happened before. Only in Biafra, a few days ago. That is to tell you that this is a well-planned pincer movement, basically from the east and from the west, in order to try to take over the geopolitical space of Nigeria for Fulanis across the Sahel. These are the things you need to ask yourself this question. You've been talking about Boko Haram, ISIS, all these murderers all over the place. Ask yourself this question. Has any Boko Haram been convicted before of any crime in Nigeria? Ask yourself this question. Now, let me put it to you Africans and to the whole world at large on this your program today. I know that a while back, Al-Shabaab attacked a few shopping malls in Kenya. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, maybe you live in Kenya. You are now residing in Kenya. Is that correct?
Yes. Don't worry. Yes. I am here.
Now, how do you think Kenyans will feel if President Uhuru Kenyatta were to grant some kind of amnesty to Al-Shabaab to now say, Al-Shabaab, you know what? Come and become part of Kenyan army. How would you feel?
I think the Kenyans will go to the streets. The Kenyans will catch the Al-Shabaab and will roast them on the streets.
Now, let me tell you this. This is something that Africans don't know.
Yes.
Do you know that Nigerian army being sent to Biafra land today contains elements of Boko Haram and ISIS in it?
Yes.
Because they are now part of us.
I've seen the reports, yes.
Let me ask you this question. When people say we shouldn't fight the army or their police, how do we know who they sent to us? How can you distinguish between a terrorist in army uniform and a serving patriot in Nigerian army? That's the question I'm asking the whole world to answer. How do we know? They incorporated terrorists into their security architecture. How do we know who is who?
Okay. How? Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Let's just take a short break and take water because it is hot in here, and I think wherever you are is also hot.
It is, yes.
The interview is fantastic. It has generated one of the huge numbers in the history of Pan-Africanism and this television station. So let me take some water. You take some water. We'll resume in 2 minutes.
Okay.
2 minutes.
Okay, sir.
On that question and the world, how do you differentiate between Boko Haram and Nigerian army?
Simple question.
When Boko Haram has been inscripted, that's better English,
yeah.
Inscripted in Nigerian army to come and kill the people of the southeast. That is the question on the table. When we return, this is Matsanga Africa perspective. In Matsanga Africa perspective, we look for hot spots. One of the hot spots is Nigeria. Is Nigeria disintegrating? Is Nigeria fragmenting to pieces? Is there leadership in Nigeria? Is General Buhari the general we saw 10 years ago? Oh, this is a different person. How can a leader allow his people to die? How can you inscript a Boko Haram to be a minister in your own government? Oh my God. Is there something wrong? A country that we all looked at as a country, the big giant of Africa. We saw everything in Nigeria. Now it looks like what my good writer, the man who wrote the things fall apart, Chinua Achebe, was right. The center cannot hold anymore. The state is going. Don't go away. Just we are returning. This is a fantastic show from Punchline Africa Television. We are interviewing His Excellency Namdi Kanu, the leader of IPOB, Indigenous People of Biafra. Thank you.
Conflicts exist on this continent. One of the most raging conflicts on the continent of Africa is the question of Biafra. From 1965 or before that, the Biafrans had their own institutions. Before the colonial master arrived, they have agitated themselves, they have told the world they want fair treatment in a nation called Nigeria. Successive regimes have always trampled upon the rights of the people of Biafra, destroyed them, killed their younger men, assassinated many, deported many, excluded many, forceful deportation out of your own country. Time has come for the new generation in 2020, 2021, 2022, for people to sit down to find an everlasting solution to the conflict that is around that region. President Buhari promised us that he will finish in 100 days the first term of office. Boko Haram will be dead. Today is finishing his second term. Boko Haram is even more vibrant than his own shoes. We have landed in very serious murky waters that the people of Nigeria don't know which direction they are going.
For us, your data is worth it. Already engaged in Shadow IT today? Your data, your livelihood. Simply Secure CryptShare.
The people of Nigeria, a big country with a big population, an economic hub of West Africa and Africa, with the biggest reserves of oil, still lingers in poverty. The poverty and the rich gaps in Nigeria are wider than the distance between Mars and Earth. What can we do for our countries in Africa? How do we unite? For us, our role is to speak, to defend the voiceless, to chart our way forward, to find a solution. The only way solution can be got on the Biafran issue is a referendum, which Buhari and the government present have refused. But sincerely speaking, Nigeria needs rearrangement. If that rearrangement does not come today, tomorrow, or the other day, one day it is going to explode. People can be pushed, but they cannot be pushed beyond what Biafrans have been pushed. The suffering is too much. Pictures that I cannot show on this television. I call upon President Uhuru Kenyatta as a member of the United Nations Security Council to see that some of these problems should be resolved and a resolution is passed of sitting down to understand the difficulties of the nations, especially in Nigeria, in Cameroon, because the problem of Biafra is also similar to the problem of Amazonia. The English-speaking people have no say in Cameroon. They are taken as second-class citizens. Biafrans are also taken as second-class citizens in a country called Nigeria. Their problems are compounded with a dictator who has lost direction, who doesn't know where the wind is blowing from, whether east of Sahara or west of Sahara. He's going north when the wind is going north, south. Therefore, it's blown one leg going up, one leg going down. Buhari standing 6.1 feet, being blown apart. Thank you.
Back to Punchline Africa Television. Our show is Matsanga Africa Perspective. In Matsanga Africa Perspective, we look at what ails Africa, what kills Africa, what makes Africa be called a continent of savages. As we can see in Nigeria, that name cannot go away. Boko Haram is killing people, taking people. We have incorporated it in the system of the Nigerian army, brought them back without remorsefulness. They have not done any reconciliation. And they are then being hired to destroy and kill other people. We have invited, and we shall invite more people to talk about this. We shall invite any other person who wants to discuss the issue why Nigeria is collapsing. A state the center cannot hold anymore. With us in the studio and away taking questions from us is none other than the leader of IPOB, Indigenous People of Biafra, His Excellency Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Welcome back, sir. One question.
Thank you very much.
One question after the break. We had to go for some water because it was becoming hot here. To hear that Boko Haram is part and a parcel of the government of Nigeria. It is something that has sunk my heart. I don't know. But I am very shocked. Let me come to this. There is a feeling that time has come. And I will keep on going back to this question. That the United Nations, the 5 permanent members, are part and a parcel of your problem. Now, because you can't exclude any, China is already in Nigeria also. Russia is in Nigeria. America has been there. Britain is there. France, through Total Oil, their presence is there. And a candid question comes. We touched it, then we went away. But it is coming back from the questions I've read during the break. Someone from South Africa is asking, surely, do these permanent members of the United Nations have eyes? Do they see? Because there are some clips here which I don't want to show you on this TV. They are very bad. As far as the killings of the youth in the southeast in Biafra, the killings, the slaughter, the torture by the army, by Nigerian army, how they tie youths on their Land Rovers and roll them around the villages. I get these pictures every day from Onitsha. These are not photoshopped. These are real things happening in Nigeria. So someone has asked, does the United Nations Permanent 5 have eyes or not? What would you say to them now, today? As we find...
I believe that.
Yeah. Go on.
They have eyes, but for some reason they have decided not to see the evil happening to Biafra. And this is what I want Africans to actually digest. Africans must ask themselves this question. Why is there this global conspiracy against Biafra? I have an answer to that. It is because Biafra portends goodwill for the whole of Africa. And they understand this very clearly. We cannot be blaming the permanent five of the UN because we are the ones that created the enabling environment for them to come in, to exploit and to do whatever thing that they want to do. I was having a very serious discussion with somebody and I said to them, do you think that the world prefers this very exploitative relationship that they have with the very corrupt subsequent refugees that you have in Nigeria? The person said yes, and I said no. The answer is no. USA is more concerned about trade with Japan and the EU more than they will with Nigeria. Because in all these economies, people want where they can ship their goods and services to be purchased. They needed to have the spending power. That was the reason behind the USA helping Germany to stand on its feet after the Second World War. The reconstruction of Europe by the US government was driven by economic self-preservation. People would want an Africa that is viable, an Africa that will be like the Southeast Asia, where high goods and services can be traded with ease. Not this very almost primitive, exploitative relationship that they have in places like Nigeria. I don't blame China. I don't even blame Britain. I don't blame Halliburton USA. I don't blame Ajib of Italy. I don't blame Shell of Netherlands. I don't blame any of these people. We are the ones that allowed them to come to exploit us. So we cannot blame them. See, in life, when you allow yourself to become a victim and you keep playing the victim card all the time, you go into, your mindset will go into a very vicious cycle of this victimhood and you can never come out of it. And I'm saying to Black African people all over the world, if you believe in the equality of every man born, if you believe that all men were created equal by God, then anything white people can do, so also can you do it. If we cannot do what Europeans can do, what Americans can do, what South Americans can do, what Asians can do, we cannot lay any claim at all to human equality. It is our fault, not the fault of the permanent five. I go back to what I said before. It was these same people that gave oil and gas concessions to the United Kingdom. That was why they persecuted the Biafran war for them. It wasn't a white man. These were black people. Gowon is a black man. It was Gowon that said no to restructuring. Obasanjo fought on the side of the colonial masters. That is the history of Africa. Joining your oppressors to defeat your own people. That's exactly what is playing out in Nigeria. Nothing more, nothing less. I cannot possibly apportion blame to anybody whatsoever. We should be blaming ourselves. Because in Africa, we tend to blame other people all the time. Whereas the fault lies with us. The fault is ours. I remember one thing that the Chinese government said in 1999 when they took back Hong Kong. Chinese government said the 100 years of shame has come to an end. They never blamed anybody. They never blamed the British. They blamed themselves for losing Hong Kong in the first place to the British. And that is how real men should be able to appraise their condition. That we are poor, we are ravaged by poverty, disease, ignorance, and backwardness in Africa is our fault. Not the fault of the Europeans. If we decide to rise up tomorrow to say enough is enough, believe you me, we can transform Africa within only 2 years. After all, Paul Kagame is doing something in Kigali. Why can't we replicate it everywhere else? We must learn to put our people first. When a head of state gets up in the morning and buys a property in Europe, what do you expect? That means you don't love your people. When he gets up in the morning and decides to buy a private jet, that means he doesn't love his people. And these are clear facts. I cannot blame anybody for our plight. I blame ourselves for it. And that is why we are rising up. And I want to make this thing categorically clear so that the whole world can understand me. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what the greatest powers on this earth draws in relation to Nigeria. Biafra is going to be free, or we all die in the process. I swear to God Almighty in heaven. Death is better than what we are passing through right now in that street called Nigeria. and we must be free. I said must. We are not begging anybody for it. It's about, before the white man came, there was Biafra. Before Britain was created, Biafra existed for over 5,000 years before the formation of Britain.
Oh, wow.
How did they decide where I should live? How did they decide which identity I should have? How can a white man come from Europe and decide to call me a Nigerian? What is the meaning of Nigeria? Nobody knows. We must go back to who we are. Be proud of who we are. I am a proud Biafran. I can never be a proud Nigerian because the name Nigeria has no meaning. No meaning whatsoever. Not even in Swahili, it has no meaning. How can a white man come and create a country for me in Africa and I'll be holding their flag running up and down saying this is my country? Who said so? Can I go to Europe and create a country in Europe for them? On what basis is our argument of human equality when Europeans can come to Africa and create countries? We cannot go to Europe to create countries. How can that be equality? Oh, that is why racist towards us. And that is why we must rise up now, not tomorrow, to support Biafra. Biafra is the beginning of the true emancipation of black people. Ask Julius Nyerere and he will tell you. Thank you.
Julius Nyerere, indeed. In 1967, the late Julius Nyerere was the first man with Dr. Milton Obote. That's why on this microphone, I still carry the flag of Dr. Milton Obote. They are the first countries in Africa to recognize Biafra. So in case people are asking why we have interest in Biafra, I follow both the leaders because I have lived in Tanzania and I am a Ugandan. And I live in Kenya. I live in Europe. I'm a global citizen. I follow Pan-Africanism. Indeed, one other question before I bring this to your side, you address your people, and then we make it, call it a day. We have covered most of the things. Some of them you will bring them in your own address, which you will be given a chance to do so in 15 minutes also. There are so many ways, constitutional ways, of struggling for freedom. I believe you know where I'm going now.
Of course, yes.
We have tried. For over 10 years, you have tried. You have done so well. You have awoken the people and said, wake up. We are being slashed one by one. Buhari has allowed people to buy daggers. You know, I saw my investigative journalist came across 100,000 daggers. How do you buy daggers for who? You import daggers. Are there so many cows to slaughter in that place? I looked at it and said, these are daggers to come and kill other people. If the constitutional route of referendum fails, what other constitutional means would you use?
We insist on constitutionality.
Yes.
And we are going to have it. When Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King started to try to rearrange the social order in America, some people felt it was impossible to do, but eventually he succeeded. When Nelson Mandela and I'm sure your good self and all other anti-apartheid campaigners started, even with the support of Margaret Thatcher and Ronald Reagan, this is something people don't know, that Ronald Reagan, a very powerful president of the US, and Margaret Thatcher, of course, their young lady, they all supported apartheid South Africa. They did. They were the ones that labeled ANC a terrorist group. Some people don't know this. It was only a few years ago that the name of Mandela was, should I say, erased from the logbook of terrorists in the United States of America. People don't know this. We are going to insist on what is ours and what is right. We've been occupying our land in perpetuity since the creation of man on this very earth. Somebody came and decided to change our identity and we said no. The person said, okay, if I'm leaving, I'm going to hand you over to a more brutal caretaker, which are the Fulanis in this case. And that is why they're killing us and killing us till tomorrow. I want to draw your attention to something very, very critical. order given by the Inspector General of Police of Nigeria to predominantly Fulani soldiers and Fulani police people to go to Biafra land to kill people. Had this announcement been made by any other police chief anywhere in the world, believe you me, there will be someone to appear in it the next day. I want to read for your audience. I'm going to quote him verbatim what he said. The IG of police in Nigeria said, he's a Fulani man, mind you, don't mind the media shout, do the job I command you. If anyone accuses you of human rights violation, the reports will come to my table and you know what I will do. So take the battle to them wherever they are and kill them all. Kill Biafrans all. Don't wait for an order. What another order are you waiting for when Mr. President has ordered you to shoot anybody carrying AK-47 assault rifle? Quote me, even a dead policeman can be tried and dismissed from the force, and his family will not get his benefits. And this is from a police chief. Do you know the funniest thing, or should I say the most astonishing thing of all? The EU has a presence in Abuja, in Nigeria. The British High Commissioner is there, Katuna Line. The US Ambassador is there. They've not said anything at all. In other words, that leads us now to believe that exactly what happened between 66 and 1970 is about to happen again, which is kill as many Biafrans as possible. I want all Africans to understand this, that this very policy of genocide and slaughter is sanctioned by the US Ambassador in Nigeria, sanctioned by the UK of all people. Tomorrow they'll be singing songs of praise about human rights abuses, what China is doing, what is happening in Gaza, what is happening in Rohingya. But in Nigeria, they sanction the killing of Biafrans in broad daylight. What sort of justice is that, I ask? I want Africans to know, to ask themselves this question. Why is it that the USA and Britain wants this very tiny country to be squashed and killed? What is it that they have that is driving them so mad? Because the future progress of Africa lies in the land of Biafra, and they do not want black people to be developed. That is why they're doing what they're doing. Look at a whole, should I say, high commission running all over the place, telling the country how to be run. The same things that Kwame Nkrumah, Julius Nyerere, Azikiwe, all of them, Patrice Lumumba, Jomo Kenyatta fought. The same thing that Mandela fought. Black people are now tolerating it. The same thing we are fighting. We want independence, we want self-rule today, this very morning or afternoon or evening. One single woman, is crossing the whole of Nigeria, telling the Nigerian police who to kill, telling them who to shoot at. Now tell me how I can be in a country where the chief of police have targeted my people for extermination, and the whole world is quiet. Tomorrow they'll start blaming us for one thing or the other. They were not backing down because Biafra is coming, and I assure you no Jupiter can stop it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I just want to ask my final question. What does the future look like for Biafra? I'm interested in that. What does the future? Because let me come first. I've struggled for Sudan. My television and my TV struggled for Gambia. You remember you were listening to me when Yahya Jammeh switched off all television stations in Gambia. I took my satellite quietly in Gambia, and Yahya, with all the army, could not know that I was broadcasting from his own place. I took my satellite phone, and we did help to liberate Gambia. I'm proud that South Sudan today, I played a part to call Dr. Riek Machar. You know, At the time, the people, Your Excellency Nnamdi Kanu, think that when you interview a man who has a different opinion from the government, you are giving them platform. Yes. We must hear when we talk, then violence will stop. If we keep quiet, then we shall perpetuate violence. So we should keep on talking. And I picked up a phone called Riek Machar in South Africa, where he had been put under house arrest. I shouted on this television to IGAD and the AU. I made noise to the British and the Commonwealth Office. I said, how do you lock a person who should be negotiating peace in South Sudan? It took about 2 months, 3 months. Riek was set free, was told you can now start the negotiations. Everything I've touched on African continent in my 65 years, I've resolved. I resolved a big, huge conflict in Uganda. I think you already know. Between the Lord Resistance Army and the President Museveni. People feared to go to the bush to look for this man, younger man called Konyi. Very young, still 40-something. I went. I said, you are killing people. People want you to talk. And we have come here. If you want to kill us, you can also kill us. I'm a determined man. I want you to paint for us a picture of a Biafra that does not look Savimbi way. You know where I'm coming from. You have read Savimbi history. We give him everything, then he turns up, he misuses, he lets us down. Sudan, South Sudan, look, we give them time. Riek comes back, they fight again over power. I have been there for Cameroon, the Amazonian people. I'm bringing them again. Now they have several factions. You don't know whom to call. One calls you, don't call that one, don't call this one. You see, these are things that worry me in Africa. Paint for me the picture of a Biafra you want.
Yeah.
Whether today, tomorrow, whether you are there or not there, whether I'm there or not there, we want to see the picture of a Biafra. I love the people of Biafra myself. I love them with the bottom of my heart. From the bottom of my heart, I love them. I don't care about Buhari, what he can say. Whether we meet at the AU, I will point fingers at him. I will. It is coronavirus that has made us not meet now. But if AU was meeting in Nigeria, I would wrestle him. I don't care. Because this is something that is paining the people of Africa. And you can't wear long kanzu, these long clothes, and come there to impress us with your perfume when people are dying. Therefore, I want you to paint for me a picture of a Biafra. What type of Biafra do you want?
The type of Biafra I want is the Biafra of my ancestors. The land of the free, where people are allowed to pursue their daily endeavors without interference from any higher authority, where individual and collective autonomy of every component, ethnic, nationality within Biafra will be guaranteed, not just by law, but by virtue of our existence as dignified human beings. A Biafra that will be demilitarized, a Biafra that will be forward-looking, innovative, creative, run on clean, green energy, not reliant on gas or petrol. A Biafra where the police will not bear any arms. A Biafra where people can live and die and you will not see an armed soldier anywhere around you. A genuine republic, a land belonging to the people. We are going to cement this in the way we structure our society. A Biafra that will attract inward investment, a Biafra that will consider every necessity of life as being a human right, not just in words, but in deed. A Biafra where there will be no strife nor rancor, a Biafra where all men and women will be equal, regardless of their religion, their sex, their creed, their orientation. A Biafra that will maintain open borders to every black soul on the face of this very earth. I do admit that geographically, in terms of landmass, we may not be that huge. A Biafra will operate, or should I say, run an open door policy. Every black person on the face of this earth will be an honorary citizen of Biafra, as long as you're not tainted by terrorism. That is the type of Biafra we want to run. A Biafra where Europeans will sit back and say, we never knew that such innovation and creativity will be possible. A Biafra that, should I say, the likes of Rwanda is a forerunner to, because today they are doing very well as well. That is the type of nation we are going to build. A truly democratic nation, not through the force of arms, but through dialogue and negotiations at all times. Nobody is going to lord it over anybody else. My ancestors never did. That is why we remain the only people not to conquer any other piece of territory, and nobody conquered us until the white man came and our temple fell in 1904. That is the land we are going to go back to. A Biafra of very many nations, a Biafra of autonomous nations within, governing themselves according to their own rules, where nobody will sit at the helm of power and dictate for others what to do. And we are going to accomplish it by the grace of God Almighty in heaven. Now, I know that constant references are being made to Southern Sudan. But I want to let people understand that even after the USA became free from British colonial rule, they also went through a very bitter civil war. And that did not stop them today from becoming preeminent in every sphere of human endeavor. Militarily, economically, socially, in every way. So I do believe very strongly that Southern Sudan will rise up to be strong once again. All these are teething problems. You also mentioned the issue of factionalism. It is when people put the interest of themselves and their controllers well and above that of those that they are serving. That is why I said, and I've said this repeatedly, I will never ever lead Biafra politically. Once Biafra is restored, my job is done. I want to be able to prove to our people what sacrifice means, so that those who will come after us will know how to treat our people with respect and with dignity. The thing about Africa is somebody gets into power and they want to stay there forever and ever, see there is something in it. The little work that I'm doing for Biafran people is very tiring, very, very stressful. Sometimes I don't even know how these presidents manage to sleep. Maybe they don't love their people that much. If you love your people, you cannot sleep at night. Any president in Africa who's not suffering from high blood pressure, you're not sick. That means you're doing something wrong. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. If you're concerned about your people, then I expect you to be very ill at all times. So that is the type of Biafra that we need. That's the type of Biafra we're going to have. A type of Biafra where the wealth, well-being of Southern Africa flows from. And I can assure you we are going to deliver it. We will deliver it. The Pan-Africanism that we talk about is going to start from Biafra, because mind you, I did not say that we're just going to have Biafra and then we'll shut up all the borders. No. What we want to do is to return to our organic political cultural arrangement. Should Biafrans wake up the next day to say, oh, we want to be the same country with Oduduwa, all well and good. Should Biafrans wake up and say, oh, we want to expand into Ambazonia, all well and good. As long as you take the consent of the people with you, this nonsense that the Europeans did in Africa, we want to reverse it. That God Almighty heaven may look down and be very proud to say that at last, I have people who are after my heart, and that's what we intend to do with Biafra. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Viewers, we seem to have covered most of the areas. It is the first time not going to be the last time. Until we liberate, until we achieve the objectives, the aims, the vision of a better people on the African continent. His Excellency Nnamdi Kanu will return at one time to give us his other views. By then, messages today, the leaders in Africa watching for your information, I linked this to South African President Ramaphosa. I linked this to, of course, the president here. His handlers are watching. President Emerson Mnangagwa, Office of Foreign Affairs, and his President's Office, they are watching. Several SADC members and several African, Your Excellency, the Pan-African President in Kampala, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, he has added another name, which is very complicated. He's watching, he's interested in the Pan-African views. They are watching, they watched. But I want now to calm down and slow down and give you a chance. Give you another 5 to 6, 10 minutes. Enjoy them. Tell your people the message. Send it to them. Millions of them, millions and millions of them. As we talk in Onitsha, in Abra, in all those places, in all those states in Southeast, those who are suffering under the heavy, disguised Boko Haram terrorists who have invaded. They are embedded in Nigerian army, coming to kill people. Give them hope. Give them hope that salvation is on the way. Give them hope that tomorrow will be a better tomorrow. Give them hope that Africa is aware. Give them hope that the world is not doing nothing. What we have done today has enlightened so many people. So many countries that have Nigerian refugees who are fleeing because Nigeria is disintegrating. They are benefiting from this program, and it affects security of the entire Africa. The floor is yours. Take it away.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me on this program. I've been a very big fan of yours for very many years, and I have studied you extensively. Once again, accept my most humblest respect to you and to the entire crew that put this thing together today. I want our people to understand one very thing. At the end of this very race, Biafra is going to emerge. It doesn't matter what anybody does. And to our African friends and brethren, I want them to also understand this. We talk about Pan-Africanism. Pan-Africanism cannot take off without Biafra, because we do need a genuinely free country in Africa to be able to drive that very critical and important initiative. We are seeking to build a country that God Almighty in heaven will be very proud of. And though the Janjaweed, the Fulani Caliphate, have sent their armies of conquest into our land, that this very day, we don't even know if those who are killing us are doing so on behalf of the